The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you, as always, by The Contender, the game of presidential debate. Go ahead and head on over to thecontender.us and buy our game. Also, buy our 2016 expansion. Brand new, 100 cards that are all culled and spun from this presidential election. Go ahead and do it now, thecontender.us. And buy stickers or DIAF. Go buy stickers. Man, who doesn't love stickers? Stick them on any and everything. Stick them on your car. Stick them on your trapper keeper. Stick them on your dog. Don't stick them on your dog. In fact, I disavow that. I disavow the dog thing. Go ahead and check it out. The package that is currently being sent out is right there when you click on the button right up top. You can see exactly what you're going to get. 7 stickers for $5. Man, if there's a better deal on the internet, I want you to tell me about it. Stickers or DIAF. And by everybody who supports this show. I talked ad nauseum in the last week about how amazing the Patreon was. Patreon.com/JuRY. We legitimately got over $700 an episode. I can't believe that that's really a thing. Go ahead and support us if you enjoy this program. Patreon.com/JuRY supports not only the JuRY show, but also politics. Speaking of the show, what do you say we go ahead and do it?
On the day that we met on the internet, I asked her for a photograph. She sent it over to me, said, I know it's ugly. And I said, girl, ugly ain't the half. Look at you. Well, you got blue teeth and you only got 2 teeth, but I kind of like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you've turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby, but that's fine, 'cause you're pretty ugly by most people's standards, but you're all right by mine.
The internet. Don't you dare be sour. Clap for this pre-recorded episode of the JuRY podcast and feel the power. It is a new day. Yes, it is. Welcome to the Justin Robert Young podcast. This is not recorded live on Sunday nights as it normally is because I am going to be live in Las Vegas, Nevada to watch the WWE put on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So when we are in need of a pre-recorded episode, there's really only one man you call. He's, the man of the hour, the man with all the power,
the guy who lives closest to you and still knows how to talk into a microphone.
the man for whom I can ask with no prep and no notice whether or not he wants to do a podcast with me. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett the Amtrekker Rounsaville, welcome back, man.
Hey, buddy. So you were talking about putting stickers on dogs. And speaking of stickers on dogs.
Sure. I disavowed that, by the way.
Well, yeah, I don't.
You
So
don't?
I don't. And let me preface this with a little question of my own. Have
Yeah.
you ever felt such high anxiety that you felt the need to pace around whatever space you're in
Yeah.
nonstop,
Uh-huh.
possibly whimpering, maybe cower in the shower for, 10 or 15 minutes before you realize the shower does not feel any safer than any other place in your home. So I'm going to pace around the rest of the house, also probably whimpering because the anxiety is too much to bear. Have you ever felt like that?
No.
My dog felt like that last night.
Really?
For 2 hours. There
So
were apparently
Arizona, your dog, a
Yeah.
dog that is fairly well traveled, right? I mean, the
Very
dog
well
goes
traveled.
on all sorts of adventures. You guys go on like hikes and stuff. The dog gets around, has seen
Yeah.
a little bit.
We flew to Boston together and shot a pilot one time.
Yeah.
Nothing phases her except apparently fireworks at the Oakland Coliseum, and she lost her S last night. I sat in the bathroom with
Wait,
her.
did you go to the game?
No, just like
was
she
just
was
you could
sleeping on
hear
the
it
couch. You could
from
suddenly
the
hear
Coliseum.
the fireworks. Yep, and she went nuts. I sat in the bathroom with her on the floor while she like shivered and cowered for over an hour. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it was nuts. I don't even know how to handle it. It was like I feel like I was sitting there thinking, oh, this is what parenthood is, isn't it? Like I have to like care for this
But
thing.
you're also okay. No, here we go.
Oh,
Now,
yeah,
this is
no,
why.
like,
this is why
there's-
this is happening.
You know, when I asked the question about anxiety, it fit in well with the dog.
Yeah.
But I was not talking about the
No,
dog.
okay. So for those of you who don't know, how far out are you guys?
1 month.
Oh,
Yeah. In fact, less than a month. What's today's date?
today's the 16th.
28 days.
Tupac Day here in Oakland, by the way.
Really?
The mayor named it Tupac Day.
Oh, what do you know?
Yeah.
I saw someone online
Picture me
wanting
rolling.
to call it Marvel Day because it was 6/16.
Well, they got to fight Tupac for it here in Oakland.
Well, I feel like that's going to be an easy victory at this point.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Shots fired.
Big shots.
Literally. But
in Vegas,
very long ago.
where I'm going to be this weekend, memorializing Tupac Day.
That was a lot of weird references in a go.
Indeed. 1 month away, you are not going to be just Brett the Amtrekker Rounsaville. You will add the nickname of father, of papa,
Brett
of dad,
The dad trekker.
the dad trekker.
Ugh. That sounds scary.
Are you finding, where is your anxiety level?
It's actually like relatively low in that I refuse to acknowledge reality.
Is it that, or are you just like, you're on the back of that, a floating transport. You know that you're going to the beaches of Normandy. There's no way to get out of it. So you just need to put on a brave face and go forward, although you know that what you are going to experience will be unlike something you've ever seen before.
A lot of it is like that. Like I went and hiked Half Dome last weekend, and someone while I was on top of the rock was like, hey, if there's any lightning, get off the rock right away. And I felt like they were saying like, hey, don't remember to be scared at all times.
Yeah.
Because like the reality is if there's lightning, there's only one thing to do, and that's get off the rock. So I feel like I know how to handle that situation.
Yeah.
But I don't even need to think about whether or not that's a situation until it exists. That's how I feel right now. Like there's lots of stuff that's going to go wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't need to think about it until it's going wrong. Does that
All
make
right, so
sense?
when you read these articles
Yeah.
about like the parents who let the 4-year-old into the monkey cage, or they got into the monkey cage and had to shoot the monkey, or like the one who the little kid got eaten by the alligator at
Yeah.
Disney.
It's crazy.
Do you read that differently than I do? Because I read it like, man, that's screwed up. Kids are crazy. Anyway, on to wondering what I'm going to do this weekend for Money in the Bank.
No, probably not.
So you have yet, so you don't internalize that.
No.
Do you expect that you will?
I guess not
'Cause that's
really.
what you always I always hear from parents, dad specifically, that it's like there is just this like this transference of like your self-centeredness on some level to the kid.
I see that, but that's like
And so
an
now it's
extra
like-
level of transference, right? Because
Yeah.
now I have to transfer it to the kid, and then I have to picture the kid being my kid eaten by an alligator. But that seems like that's a big leap. I can't imagine I wouldn't read it as anything other than like, oh man, that blows. Glad
but
it wasn't my kid.
is it really? Because if you read an article that was like, oh, man in green hat shot in Oakland while going to Icy Cream, you'd be like, oh my God, I wear a green hat and I go to Icy Cream. This is a thing that I do. This is something that I am pre-qualified for. So if you see yourself
Okay.
in your child.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But one of the things I don't do is hang out by alligator-infested ponds.
You're right. That's stupid. And you will keep your son or daughter from the
Alligator-infested
Yeah.
ponds. I would
Do you know?
guess
Do you
so.
know? Have you gotten that out of Katie yet?
Whether or
the
not
sex?
we will want to hang out by alligator-infested ponds.
I assume that that's a hard pass from both of you.
Like, I have to convince her no alligator-infested ponds.
How weird would that be if that was something that, like, she's like, I don't know, the other trail minxes were like, alligator. Is there something about their aura? Like,
Yeah. No, the like bacteria that you find around alligator-infested ponds like mingles with your gut flora and and that in turn
Yeah.
makes for higher cognitive abilities at month 18.
Sure. Oh wait, no, she's saying like even as as a pregnant lady, she needs to go live amongst the swamp.
We have to be at all times near alligator-infested ponds.
You have to do that though if she wants to do it, right?
Oh, of course you do.
There's no
talking sense in the gut flora.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, but you would in a year, just not now.
Yeah. Wait, are we still talking about alligator-infested ponds?
So all right, here, let's say, right after this, you go home.
Yeah.
Wife's 8 months pregnant. She's like, gut flora, need to sit in a swamp. Yeah, I know there's alligators, but like that's also, it's like another endorphin thing that actually activates it.
Right.
So we got to go do that, and we got to do it. I mean, I'd prefer to do it tonight, but we could do it this weekend. When are you free? You have to.
Yeah. Well,
you
I feel
have to
like
pull the trigger on that, right? You have to do it.
No, you're right. You're right. So, like, this being a hypothetical, the reality is, like, I need to do this thing.
Yeah.
The only answer is, yes, honey. Let's figure out the safest, most responsible way to do this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie this rope underneath your armpits. I'm going to sit safely on this side of the water. And then if you get any, like, nibbles, you just scream and I'll pull. Yeah.
Now, but like a year from now, you can say, no, that's stupid.
Right.
Right? It's just now.
Yeah.
There's no.
Everything is her right now. Which is fair. That's what's only right.
I mean, it's safe to say
she's going through a lot more right now than I am.
She's doing the lion's share of the work right now.
And the monkeys and the warthogs and the meerkat. She's doing all of the animals' share of the work. I'm mostly sitting on the couch throughout the day.
You guys have, well, it has been decided amongst you guys that you are keeping these sex a secret. Has that broken down as you guys get closer?
No, it hasn't. You say decided.
Yeah, I was very political in revealing to the audience that this was safe to say this was not a mutual decision.
No. This was a very singular decision and one which I was contrary on, but lost horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried to revisit it?
Oh, hundreds upon hundreds of times throughout this pregnancy. I feel like over the last 2 months, I've finally been like, well, now, like, by the time we made an appointment to be here, like, all I can do is shrug. But it's really real. Like, I feel like it makes the whole situation feel more abstract. Like, even in this world of fluid gender dynamics.
Which, for the record, for anybody listening, like, we are living in ground zero of fluid gender dynamics.
Yeah.
Right? Between Oakland and Berkeley, all of which is right in our wheelhouse. We are a very fluid locality, safe to say.
Right. And even in that world, I feel like it like not knowing the sex of the baby lends this level of abstraction that makes it difficult to even like go into imagination land and picture holding this baby. Does that make sense?
Like it might. Okay, got you.
Like I don't feel like I can be like, oh man, I can't wait to I don't know, coach my boys' soccer team or something.
It's like your brain is like, okay, hey, listen, we're set. We've been set for this simulation of wondering what it's going to be a father. It's been set for.
Yeah, we're ready to pull the trigger. Just send us that polygon map, and we'll layer that on, and
just waiting on a few more.
Just some texture. Just give us some texture, and we'll hit the compile button. We'll render this sucker, and we'll put on the FPS.
And so now you're just like, well, I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
I mean, we don't have the materials.
Yeah, I can't. Although occasionally, like, we have so much stuff in this little makeshift nursery right now that I do just occasionally walk in there and have an anxiety attack. Like my heart starts racing.
Yeah.
And I just look
Do you
around.
start whimpering and just sit in the bathtub?
And then I
for 2 hours.
I put like a life jacket on her because I thought like maybe she would like to just be held by clothing or something.
This is the dog.
The dog.
Okay, good. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Put this life jacket on her and like let her go in the shower and put a fan on so it made other noise, and she was not having it. She was.
All right, back to the baby situation. Number one.
Yeah.
Do you think she knows?
Katie. No, I don't.
You do not believe she knows?
No. I know she has guesses, but they're all just guesses. And that's another thing about it, right? So no one knows.
All right, I'm glad you brought this up because this is the other thing I want to get into. I feel like confidently declaring the gender of the baby while when you don't know for sure and it is in the womb.
Uh-huh.
One of the best bets ever, right? Because number one, 50-50.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With, certain medical,
Anomalies,
dispensations, right?
The green.
At which point it would be a push. But 50-50 by and large. And if you're wrong, who's going to run up on you when you're like in the gown with like the hair stuck to your face and like, you screwed up. You don't know your body, Mom.
It's not the mom that bothers me. No, you know what? It all kind of bothers me because it's just a guess. No one knows, but everyone very confidently declares
so
it.
confidently.
Very
the swagger
confidently.
is off the charts
And
with these
that
guesses.
part isn't even the bad part. I get the very confidently declaring the gender, but they do it for both. They're like, oh, it's a boy. For sure it's a boy. And then that same person, like a week later, is like, I'm starting to think it's a girl. Might be a girl. And you know what that means? That means no matter what, they get to, like, when the baby's born, they get to go, I called it.
No, you want to know what?
I told you it was a boy.
That is a sign of character weakness. And, like, I don't care if your dad did it.
Everyone does it.
I don't care.
Everyone does it.
If you hedge on easily the most can't lose bet on the planet, that shows that you have a character problem.
Everyone does it, and I'm like dreading when everyone walks up and is like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
What do people have like weird reasons for knowing?
Yes.
What are some of the weird
are
some of the weird reasons?
They're like, she's carrying really high, so that means a lizard boy or something. Like I don't know what the actual metrics are, but everyone has their reason for it, calling it what it is.
Is it who has more of those, women or men?
Oh, always the women.
Women are the one that have all the. Although Ian, who is a co-owner of the Go Game, where we both have worked, and a personal friend and hero to us, is also like as a hunter always like very proud of his ability to tell the like gait and carriage of a pregnant or as yet to be pregnant woman. Like he has loudly and confidently like declared before women have announced they're pregnant, like, yeah, I called it. It was, I could see it in the, like I can see your step was a quarter inch short.
I know she blinks an extra time and a half per left hand step.
So it's always something physical then.
Yeah. Oh no. I guess that's not true because some people are just like, I have a feeling. I know. I can feel it. I feel it. It's a girl.
Yeah.
You're so cute. You're glowing.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's a girl.
Yeah. All right. I don't know whether to be like, everybody should come with a hot take on the sex, right? Or
everyone does.
Nobody should.
Everyone does. There's no stopping them.
Really?
No stopping. Especially because the first question everyone has is what
boy or girl?
Is it boy or girl?
Yeah.
And then when you tell them we don't know, that is all the impetus anyone needs to shout out one or the other.
Why do you think it is? Why do you think people? I mean, we've understood that the society rewards them because either you're right or you're wrong in a time when nobody cares because there's a new baby, right? So obviously, it's like if all of our world was laid out in a newspaper, right? Banner headline, baby born, right? We're talking like the pre-written story, page 3. The following people were wrong about the sex, right?
No, you don't even get that. Page 3 is the following people were correct about the sex because like no one actually
you're right.
cares.
Because now somebody gets to look like the wise old Indian chief, right?
Yeah.
Who just like lays one weathered hand on the belly and says like, a brave warrior this will be.
And there's no negative to having been wrong at some point.
Yeah.
As long as at one point you said the correct one. So you could be like, it's a boy, girl. It's a
like
boy,
Mr.
girl.
Subliminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a boy, girl. Then like you're like, yeah, I nailed it. Totally called it. Knew it was going to be a boy, girl. Yeah.
Let's switch topics. Have you
Thank
seen movies? Movies that you've liked?
I
you haven't
seen enough lately. I don't even remember what the last one I saw was. What are you?
Didn't we see a movie?
We saw. I was gonna say Zootopia, but we saw something after that.
Didn't we?
Jungle Book?
No. We saw something at Jack London. Right?
Oh, Nice Guys.
Nice Guys.
Yeah.
We didn't. Well, you liked it more than I do.
I think so. I mean, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I heard a review with like a podcast that I really, really liked that was like, this is the greatest thing that Ryan Gosling's done, and like they were like over the moon for it. So maybe I was a little bit too I was a little too harsh on it.
Ready
But
to change your opinion?
No, I'm not ready to change my opinion.
Did you go back and watch
girl,
Kiss Kiss
girl.
Bang Bang?
No, it's a boy. I did not go back and watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I kind of want to watch them back to back now.
Yeah. Although I would like to watch them back to back, but I feel like that's like we should just do like a Robert Downey Jr. like film festival. Like I feel like Robert Downey Jr. You could put together a solid like 12 hours that would be very, very watchable. Oh, this is a good topic. Who do you think could make the most tolerable film festival of just one actor's work?
And do you get to cherry pick, or you just
Cherry
take
pick.
like? Okay.
So we're talking like sun up to sundown. First movie's at 9, last movie's at 10.
I
in
feel
the
like
evening.
you have to go with Harrison Ford. Like it.
It's a
Is
good
there
one.
anyone else?
Solid.
Yeah. Especially if you get to cherry pick.
Hanks?
Hanks is a good one.
Because
I feel like we should just
so
we should
what's- so
totally
what's-
reach out. We should reach out to the Alamo Draft House and try to do our own version of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I think that's a great idea.
I think that'd be super fun.
But what is going into it? Like why are we selecting these people? All of them have done this combination of big, awesome, fan-friendly mega hits, right?
Yeah.
But you also want to sprinkle in a few of the weird ones,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
All right, in the Hanks one, put it in or take it out, Polar Express.
Take it out.
Because I feel like
Take it out.
Polar Express.
I don't care what you're saying.
I'm just,
Take it out.
Let me make.
Just take it out. Justin.
Don't
All right,
make me
your
start
argument.
singing the hot.
Make your argument.
I will sing the hot
Make your-
chocolate song.
Make your argument.
right here.
Make your argument.
And here we only
your
have
argument.
one rule: hot.
Take it out.
Hot chocolate.
Take it out.
We'd never ever let it cool. Hot chocolate.
No.
Here's
no, it doesn't
my-
matter. You lost your right to argue.
Here's
now that
my.
you sing
It's
the
my
hot chocolate
podcast.
song.
I'm making
Take
the
it out.
argument. It's a good ironic watch.
No,
Now.
it's not.
It's a good ironic
No,
watch.
it's not.
Why not?
There's nothing fun about ironically watching creepy animation. Like mocap animation is the most awful thing to force yourself to watch at any given time.
I watch
doesn't
it.
matter
I
whether or
watch
not it's
it
funny or
on
ironic.
Christmas with my family.
That's because your family hates you.
Also, everybody was high.
No, take it out. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
All right, fine. We'll save that for when I get high with my uncle again. All right. Then you make a Hanks pick.
All right.
That we go in or out on.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah.
a bubble one. Don't come in here with Forrest Gump because Forrest Gump's obviously going to be in there.
Oh, you think Forrest Gump's obviously in there?
Of course.
All right. The Man with One Red Shoe.
Out. I don't even know. What is that?
What? Really?
Yeah.
It's like The Man Who Knew Too Little, but with Tom Hanks. It's great.
When was that?
It was before Big, I think.
So what do you need? All right, so you need your big tent poles, right? That
Yeah.
like, all right, you're not going to go to a Tom Hanks. It's not like the underappreciated Tom Hanks
No.
Film Festival. You got to have the hits, right?
Yeah.
That's why Forrest Gump's got to be in there.
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan's got to be in there.
Yeah.
But you do need the oddball here and again. So I'm
feel like-
putting yours in.
All right, so I feel like one of the bigger oddballs, Tom Hanks, this is both the tentpole and the oddball, is Philadelphia, because it's so well done, but also so depressing.
Philadelphia's got to be in there.
It
Yeah.
does?
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that's when I take my 2-hour-long bathroom break then.
Because that was when he really established himself as like dramatic actor guy.
Yeah. But also so
'Cause for the
depressing.
kids-
Do you go to a marathon to like be depressed?
Also, that's not a movie that's aged well.
Probably
Like,
not.
That was a brave movie. It's like, oh, the brave Denzel Washington can tolerate a gay dying man. It's like, you truly are a hero, Denzel. Like, you put aside the fact that you think all gay people should be dead, so you can say that, hey, dying gay man, you're my buddy.
That is true. There's so many levels on which it didn't age that well, because it's also like the AIDS epidemic as an epidemic has kind of come and gone. Like, it's not really the death sentence that it was at that point in time. It's not like the fear-mongery thing you get on the 11 o'clock news anymore. Now it's just a really sad movie.
Yeah. Where not a lot of things, including many mustaches, really make a lot of sense. Like, there's really, you're right. The context of it is weird. And also, it is one of those, like, part of the reason why I think Hollywood gets a bad rap for being pandery whenever they get pandery is that they are always just one side over of, like, an issue because they still have to sell it in Omaha, right?
Right.
So it's like, it's always just what. So it's like, yeah, okay, a gay guy with AIDS gets the legal defense that he needs, right? But it can't just be like, yeah, no, we're taking, yeah, sure, absolutely. It's got to be like, oh, I'm conflicted because I really don't know if I like gays. It's like, because you got to say, like, okay, no, it's about this guy. And so, like, you can relate, right? A guy who really kind of has conflicted feelings about gays, but, like, you do want to do right by your favorite thing, and you watch Bosom Buddies. Like, you do have to kind of, you have to pitch it to everybody, which makes the message, you know, a little muddled at times.
How do you feel about that in the world of marathon movies? Can we put an episode or two of Bosom Buddies in there?
I'm all for that.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right.
I think it's better now than it would ever be because TV has reached such a level.
I mean, Bosom Buddies hasn't gotten any better.
Sure, but like the rising tide of like television being this more artistically recognized art form.
I kind of felt similarly until I watched the pilot of The A-Team last week. And then I was like, you know what? New TV has gotten better. All TV hasn't gotten better.
Oh, certainly so. I mean, the reputation of television is not undeserved. Like, it absolutely is deserved.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of you know, everybody in general being a little bit more understanding that, like, doing television is not like a death sentence for your career.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. So, like, big tent poles for Hanks are, of course, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan. Where do we come down on Philadelphia? In or out?
In. It's got to be in.
Well, I'll let you have it
You
because
need
we're definitely
all
not
different
taking.
types of things.
I get what you're saying.
This isn't the Hanks Comedy Festival.
No, I'm not saying it is, but that doesn't matter. Like, I'm letting you have Philadelphia
Sure.
because I shat upon Polar Express.
Hot chocolate.
Big?
In.
Yeah. What am I missing? Saving Mr. Banks?
He got a nomination for that, right? Or did that chick get the nomination?
I don't recall. It was good, though. I enjoyed it, but I am predisposed to enjoy that movie.
That's a bubble one.
Yeah.
Because it's latter stage Hanks.
Yeah.
Sure, he's playing Disney, but it was also the tail end of his phase where he needed to do an accent and everything. He was a big accent. Like, he had, like, the Terminal and the Coen the Lady Killers.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Terminal
like,
was better than people give it credit for.
You want to know why? Because it's Steven Spielberg being really into Wes Anderson movies and saying, I'm just going to make my own Wes Anderson movie, but it'll be a Steven Spielberg movie. So it'll star Tom Hanks, but it'll have the same Indian dude from all the Wes Anderson movies. It'll have Wes Anderson-y scenes where people are just like doing stuff face up to camera and like moving scenes where they're like stationary like Wes Anderson always does. And they're like in a buggy or something. No, I did dig that.
In or out?
Terminal?
Yeah.
Out.
Huh.
I'm on the bubble with Banks. Joe versus the volcano.
I feel like, all right, there's kind of, if we break Hanks into 3 segments, we have the early stuff that's all comedy.
Yeah.
I would say Joe versus Volcano falls into that. We have the middle stuff where he starts to pull out and be a dramatic actor, starts winning the awards like Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. And then we have this latter stage where it's just like, hey, I really like making movies and I'll do whatever the hell I want. So you need like probably 4 from each segment, right?
Sure.
So I would say from that first segment, we have Big already.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Man with One Red Shoe.
Okay.
And then Joe versus Volcano.
Splash.
Splash.
We're done.
Sold. Yeah. All right.
Early
Good.
Hanks out.
So Joe's in.
Joe's in.
Yeah.
Early Hanks is done. All right.
Yeah.
We're putting it down.
We left out.
What?
What was that? What was that? Was he in Neighbors or Money Pit? He was
Money
in
Pit.
Money Pit. Oh,
Which one are you
geez.
kicking out for Money Pit?
I mean, I think I'd kick out. You gotta leave in Splash. You gotta leave in Big.
Yeah.
I think I have to kick out Joe versus Volcano because
Come
those are the same level.
on!
Because those are the same level of notorious of like notoriety. Whereas like Man with Run and Shoot, you didn't even know what it was. You gotta throw something in there that people aren't expecting that they might enjoy.
But you got to put in Joe if you want to do the Meg Ryan back-to-back with Sleepless in Seattle.
But we don't.
Sleepless has got to get in there. You're not going to a Tom Hanks Film Festival without going to see Sleepless in Seattle, dog.
Well, then does that mean
That's
we
like-
also have to watch You've Got Mail?
The Meg Ryan orgasm scene, that's Mount Rushmore of Hank scenes.
Are you talking about When Harry Met Sally?
When Harry Met Sally. Is that he's in that?
It's a
Or is that a different one?
movie.
Sleepless in Seattle he's in though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. Screw that.
All right, that one's out.
Wait, who's in When Harry Met Sally? Who's the
Billy
dude?
Crystal.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait, which one's Sleepless in Seattle?
That's the one where his kid... Is it his kid that keeps calling the radio station? Or does he keep calling the radio station? And like he's calling like this like Dr. Love kind of line at night. And so his sign off is his name is Sleepless in Seattle. And then they fall in love via the radio. And then eventually
But
they
they
meet
don't-
in Seattle or something.
They don't realize, or
do
they're
they
from
meet in New
different
York?
places.
Yeah. I don't really remember it that well.
It doesn't have the orgasm scene.
No. No.
Huh.
In the diner, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
learn
that's
something new
definitely
every
When
day.
Harry Met Sally.
I'll have what she's having.
Yeah. That's
That
When
one?
Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. So Sleepless in Seattle's out. F that. Let's get into to like he's a real actor guy.
Yeah.
So what we have,
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump,
I gave you Philadelphia, so you only get one
Philadelphia.
more.
Castaway.
All right. In. Done. Middle Hanks, done.
Is it nothing else that we can think of?
If there's something else we can think of, it's not as big as those four, right?
I don't think so. I think that fairly well encapsulates Middle Hanks.
Yeah.
And then afterward, that's where he got into his accent phase.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
So
want to
late
represent
Hank.
the accents.
You gotta give one accent in there. I want Terminal. Can I have Terminal?
Do you want Terminal?
Can I have Terminal?
What about the lady? Where do you stand on Lady Killers?
I'm not a fan. Like that's one of the few like Coen Brothers movies I don't really super dig.
Oh, we missed one.
What did we miss?
Apollo 13.
Oh, we did miss Apollo 13. That's a pretty big deal.
That's a pretty big deal.
But-
Green Mile, people are saying.
Green Mile's good. Green Mile's not Apollo 13
All right, well, this is-
good.
but
And
we-
here's my question
this
about
is-
Apollo
this is-
13. Does it hold up in this new world of Gravity, The Martian, and Interstellar?
I think absolutely.
Okay.
Stronger actors, right? We got like
Stronger than Gravity?
Bacon in his prime. Hanks,
Gary Sinise.
Sinise.
Who's number 4?
Who's the dude on in Mission Control? That's like dumps like the pile of shit on the table, and he's like, "We have 12 hours with what we have right here. You better figure this out."
Is that the guy that played Jackson Pollock? The guy
Yes.
from The Abyss?
Yes,
What is his name?
the dude who played the director in Truman Show.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Can we put the Truman Show in there?
No, he was not in the Truman Show.
But can we put it in there anyway?
No.
Man,
Ed
I really
Harris,
like
Ed
I really like the
Harris.
Truman Show.
Apollo 13. Does Apollo 13 make it or doesn't make it?
It doesn't make it because we're putting the Truman Show in.
We're not putting Truman. Get
We
that
can't.
Truman Show.
All right.
Hot chocolate.
Apollo 13's good. I like Apollo 13. We
What
can
does
kick
it
out
kick
some
out?
late Hank. We can kick out some late Hank. I mean, how much late Hank do we need? Hanks.
Is it?
Oh, you know what I want in there?
What?
That thing that you do.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
His directorial debut.
Yeah.
It's
And what his,
gotta
his
get in.
production company is named after it.
It's gotta get in.
And
That
it-
thing you do.
Steve Zahn at his best.
Might
I
be-
thought he was going to be a huge megastar after that one. And then he wasn't.
What's your favorite band? Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
No, look, the Wonders. Right. Looks like the Oneaters.
Yeah. Oh, you changed the name. Yeah, it's going to be I Wonder What Happened to the Oneaters. That movie's awesome.
I love that one.
That movie's so good.
That's in that upper echelon of movies that I've seen more times than you should watch an ordinary movie.
All right, so we're going to say we're going to cut 2 from Late Hanks. We're going to put in That Thing You Do.
And
we're gonna
Apollo
put in
13.
Apollo 13. That means we need 2 Late Hanks. Captain Phillips.
You said we're keeping Philadelphia?
Yes.
Captain Phillips is more upbeat than Philadelphia, but you still walk out like head hung. It can't be the closer.
Oh no. We're shuffling everything around.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Big's the closer, right?
Well, yeah. Whatever's going to be best that you're going to start at 10 o'clock and you're going to end at midnight. Like you want to keep people awake. So.
All right. So what's Late Hanks? Captain Phillips. You have Saving Mr. Banks. You have Cloud Atlas, which is definitely out.
Yeah. It's a little esoteric.
Yeah.
That might have beaten his accent phase out of him. He might have been like that. There's like that line from Primary Colors where the James Carville stand-in character is you want to know how I quit smoking? Sat down one day, had a carton of cigarettes. I made myself smoke every single one of them. One in a row. One. Smoked the whole carton, never smoked again. That's Tom Hanks with accents with Cloud Atlas. He's just like, okay, you want to know what? I don't need to do an accent ever again. When I'm doing like the I can't use English accent and I'm doing like all these different things. Yeah, you want to know what? I'm fine.
Bridge of Spies was good though. I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
Oh, there's one we're forgetting.
We are,
and it's a goddamn shame.
Chat realm
because they might
help.
come right down the street and punch us square in the mouth.
They might come down the street.
Right down.
From San Francisco or from Oakland?
From Emeryville.
From Emeryville. Pixar.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Yeah.
One of the Toy Stories has to get in there.
Yeah. Has to be 2 then, I guess.
2's the better.
3 might be the better, but 3 is like if you were gonna put one cartoon in there, you have to put one happy cartoon in there. It's got to be You Got a Friend in Me, not like, well, I think Andy grew up and died.
Do you think that'll be it? Toy Story 4 will just be like Philadelphia-esque, where like he's coming back as an AIDS-ravaged victim who's now like looking over his old toys on his deathbed?
Oh, jeez. I watched Toy Story 3, no joke, the exact same week that I had a big yard sale at my parents' house and sold a bunch of my toys, and it was too much for me. I couldn't do it. I walked out of there so sad. I don't know why I'm the voice of like, let's stay away from sad right now. But
yeah.
Apparently, I can't handle the Depression era movies.
Toy Story. All right. So wait. All right. And here's our little side quest here. You can only show one Toy Story.
Yeah. I think it's 2.
So 2, you have Fraser Crane as the bad guy, as like old Dirty Willie or whatever,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Something Pete. Prospector Pete.
You get the lady cowboy with
Jessie.
Was it like Sarah McLachlan? Like that gets the song, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Like when we were children doing things. Like she got a lady singer got the Randy Newman role, right?
I don't remember.
I think so. And then what else? I mean, what happens?
That's the
in
one
Toy
where,
Story 2.
Well, like Woody goes to like Toyland and gets remodeled and everything and starts to think like, oh no, life is better here. And then his friends come and rescue him and he realizes that like, oh no, not only is it not better here, but I've turned my back on my family and these are the people who love me and care about me. And then goes back to Andytown with his friend Buzz.
Are all the plots of the Toy Story movies like exactly the same?
Yeah.
Where they all go somewhere they think it's better and realize it's not better and they need to go back?
Yeah. Where have you been?
Well, no, the first one it's almost like torture, right? Like he gets against his will. He's angry that Buzz is there.
The first one where they move
The first one's where Buzz
second
shows
one's where
up
they
and it's
move.
old toy versus new toy.
Yeah.
That's the whole gimmick there.
Yeah. And then they end up at the neighbor's house.
Yeah, and the neighbor's like a delinquent and obviously will like be robbing people and like, he's just, 5 years away from being at the center of
I
a
think he ends up
5,000 word Jezebel post about something despicable that he's done to.
I think he ends
online.
up being the pizza delivery boy in either
winds up
2 or
starting
3.
Gamergate.
Something like that. Gamergate, yes. Sid of Gamergate. That's funny. Well, my vote's for 2. What do you think? One's good, but Pixar started dialing stuff in by 2.
But also now that I think about it, I can't remember a lot about 2 except for there's Newman is some collector,
Al's Toy Barn.
right?
Yeah.
And I remember like his neck beard was among the most beautifully rendered CG things. Like I remember like watching in theater, like I can't believe that looks as that neck beard. Like it was like rippling off his like fat face. Like
Yeah.
it just looked amazing. And then I remember it ends with Fraser Crane as Dirty Dick Willie coming after him in the checked luggage part of the airport.
Oh, right.
That's all I remember about Toy Story 2, which makes me think that it might be a weaker movie because I can remember the plots of Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 3.
Better than that?
Yeah. Toy Story 1 is old toy versus new toy that they end up at the delinquent's house and they have to get back, right?
Yeah.
And Toy Story 3 is
Don't they end up at
Pizza-
at the arcade?
Yeah,
Pizza
yeah.
Port or whatever.
But that's where they get that's how they wind up getting lost and going to the
Does also the claw always save the day?
I mean, it certainly does in the first
First and third.
right?
Yeah.
And then the third one is they get donated to
The preschool.
preschool.
Yeah.
Realize that that's not everything it's cracked up to be. But you really get the best ancillary characters of the entire series in 3. With like lots of Hug and Bear and
Ken.
and Ken and Barbie.
Michael Keaton. A Michael Keaton
A Michael Keaton film fest gets weird
yes.
real quick.
Yeah, it does, but in like so many awesome ways. Oh, we started off wrong with Hanks. We wasted all this time. Look at all this time we spent coming up with this Hanks marathon when we could have been focused on Michael Keaton. We blew it, man. We blew it.
Okay, but a Michael Keaton film festival. All right, we booked the Hanks one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, world.
Good job, us.
Good job. Why don't they have playlists on Netflix? They need to have playlists.
Because they don't have enough movies to have playlists anymore.
And
you
they
can
don't
find-
want you to have a playlist where it's just all grayed out titles,
Yeah.
right? Good point. Smart move by you. Good no call, Netflix. A Keaton one. I mean, are you putting in both Batman movies?
No, you have
Does
to pick a Batman
multiplicity
just
does
like
multiplicity get in?
you have to pick. Does multiplicity count as 3?
Where are you at on
4?
multiplicity?
Oh, it's definitely in. I love multiplicity. And it's like one of those that's unusual and oddball, and I guess most of his are unusual and oddball enough, but it's like a good oddball comedy that is unlike any other comedy that you would find. Like you're not going to go like, oh, multiplicity, that's like that movie. Ugh.
Who's the lady in Multiplicity? Who plays the love interest?
Minnie Driver?
Or is it Andy McDowell?
It might be Andy McDowell. Those are the
All
same
right, we're
person,
gonna-
right?
No, they're not the same person. Minnie Driver's British.
It's one of those two. And I'm pretty sure those two are the same person.
No,
Relatively
Minnie
sure.
Driver's got like the crazy, like her face accounts, like her below the nose accounts for 75%
Is
of her
Minnie
face.
Driver in Good Will Hunting?
Oh wow, do you know who directed Multiplicity?
Cameron Crowe.
Harold Ramis.
That was close.
It is Andy McDowell.
I was right.
Nailed it. No, I think what's it called? I think Minnie Driver was after this. Like her heyday was. This is 96. Minnie Driver's first big thing was what? Good Will Hunting in 90.
She was Good Will Hunting. I definitely do
8.
get Andy McDowell and Minnie Driver mixed up then. I think that's only because they're the same person, though. Anyway, multiplicity makes it in.
Multiplicity makes it in.
You have to pick one Batman, just like we picked like one of the.
But here's
others.
where, all right. The problem is that Keaton never really got the run. Like, if anything, he's getting the run of like the big Oscar movie run now.
Yeah.
He didn't get it in his prime. He's getting it now.
Yeah. No, but he got Oscar-worthy runs in his prime.
Like what?
Like, I feel like Beetlejuice is Oscar-worthy.
Beetlejuice is great, but at no point does anybody was it even nominated for an Oscar?
No.
But that's because that movie Beetlejuice is never nominated for an Oscar.
No, it's not, but it should be. That is
No,
a
but
great
that's all right.
performance.
That's not what I'm. Of course, yes. Listen,
Yeah.
again, Beetlejuice. Here's why Michael Keaton is the best American actor ever. That
The
movie,
best American.
yeah, the best American, right? He stars in a movie called Beetlejuice. It's named Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Where Beetlejuice is not the central character
Nope.
and doesn't show up until 30 minutes into the movie.
And if you ask anyone who the best person in Beetlejuice is, it's Beetlejuice. Of course it's Beetlejuice.
It's not weirdly skinny Alec Baldwin.
It's definitely not Winona Ryder.
How weird is it that Baldwin's so skinny in that movie?
It is a little disturbing.
He has like a
now-
totally different body type. It's
Yeah.
like he went to a planet with a different gravity.
Yeah.
And yet he's still handsome. It's just he got squished.
Now he's like
He looks
Republican.
shorter.
He's Republican senator handsome instead of like action hero handsome.
Well,
now.
he's like an Irish potato face guy, like handsome, right? Like he just has like one of those stout faces, like like he was built to like throw a sack of grain.
You know what I've always thought is weird about Alec Baldwin is you put all the Baldwin brothers together and you go like, oh, look, those guys are all brothers. They all look exactly alike. Also, oddly, that one's way more handsome than all the others.
Yeah.
Like what? Like there's hardly any difference between all 5 Baldwin brothers, and yet Alec is clearly the most attractive of them.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something. I mean, an Alec Baldwin film festival would be interesting. Now, what would be really interesting is looking at like if you took a character actor, right, and you just made like the Tony Shalhoub film festival,
or what's that guy Stephen Tobolowsky?
Oh, damn.
Ned Nederlander.
So what?
That's
You're
definitely-
doing
that's
Stephen
Three Amigos.
Tobolowsky Film Festival.
Yeah.
That's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
Oh my God, that's all you do. You just do Groundhog Day the whole time.
The Stephen Tobolowsky Film Festival is only Groundhog Day. That's brilliant. And he just does the same intro.
That would be really funny.
Where it's like, hey, you friends, it's Stephen Tobolowsky here. Thanks for coming to my film festival. It's a real pleasure. Here's my favorite movie, Groundhog Day.
This is our plan. This is actually something we can do, right? We can talk to the Draft House. We can rent out one entire theater for a 24-hour period. We can
Stephen
start
Tobolowsky
running
Film Festival.
No. We can start running a series of these marathons. We can do the Hanks marathon. We can do the Harrison marathon. We can do the Michael Keaton marathon, and then like our 4th one is the Bill Murray marathon. And so we've built all this up, and it's
we
just
pay it off
Groundhog Day
by
for
Groundhog
24
Day.
hours.
Would that be a major dick move?
It would be amazing.
Is it
like
funnier?
dick move or not? It's like we could lose money on the deal, and I would laugh for the rest of my life.
Would it be good? All right, let's say, like realistically,
Yeah.
what if we just sprinkled Groundhog Day in 4 times on it? So it was just like every once in a while, like every 3rd movie's Groundhog Day.
That would be pretty good. I don't know that it would be better than showing only
Groundhog Day. It's a fair point.
You could just show like maybe the first 10 minutes of Groundhog Day as the beginning of every movie. It'd be
and then we go into Garfield.
Have you heard that joke by John Mulaney where he talks about the best meal he's ever eaten?
No.
And they went into a diner and played "What's New, Pussycat" and put it on the thing like 7 times in a row. It's great. You should go look it up. I'm not gonna like try and tell the story here.
Yeah.
But
You want to talk about Ghostbusters?
the
All
girl
controversy.
Girlbusters.
Controversy about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, happy to.
We went to go see Ghostbusters not too long ago. at what's it called? At the theater. The
At
fake
New Parkway.
Yeah, New Parkway.
Yeah, that was fun. I forgot about that.
I think people are remembering Ghostbusters differently. Like, having seen it recently with you, like, obviously, great movie, amazing movie, classic for a reason.
Yeah.
But I read a thing that was like, oh my God, but also, like, it was really underrated for how amazing the special effects were. And it's like, all right.
They were
Slimer?
exactly as good as every other David Bowie music video.
I mean, like, listen, Slimer looks as amazing today.
Yeah.
And like, there is an element of like, yeah, you want to know what? I liked how Slimer looked in the original more than I like how just like the straight up CGI Slimer looks like, because
Yeah.
the CGI Slimer in the commercials for the new one looks almost exactly like the other like ghost with its like shimmering kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, yeah, because you can tell they're both CGI and like they're supposed to look otherworldly. But like, I liked the fact that each ghost kind of used slightly different practical effects to achieve them, and Slimer therefore looked more different.
Yeah.
But that being said, the dog that breaks out of the gargoyle on top looks like garbage.
Yep.
It looks
Well, that whole scene
bad.
where you have that weird like
claymation
temple
stuff.
Yeah, that everything about that looks like a David Bowie music video.
Yeah. I feel like people are just like, and I don't even want to get into whether or not it's just straight out misogyny or sexism, but like, I do feel like people just need to watch Ghostbusters again. Like, if,
I feel really similarly about when the new Indiana Jones movie came out. Like, yes, it's probably objectively not as good as the others, but like, I take umbrage to anyone that's like, oh my God, there's all this weird stuff that happens. You're like, yeah, no shit. It's an Indiana Jones movie. Weird shit happens the entire time. Nazi faces melt off. People rip hearts out of other people. It's a series where weird shit happens.
women
constantly.
outdrink Mongolians. If you're here to defend Crystal Skull, I will kick you out of my house.
I'm not here to defend Crystal Skull. I'm here to say that it
That
is the
movie's
worst
bad.
of the Indiana Jones
Yeah.
movies, and yet in the same vein as any Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, as if somebody said, let's make a terrible version of this great movie.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's much more like someone said, hey, let's make an Indiana Jones movie, and then did a bad job of it. That's way different from saying, let's make a bad Indiana Jones movie.
No.
Yes.
The premise of that movie is half of why it's terrible.
The premise of the movie is not unlike the premise of Temple of Doom.
Incorrect.
In what way? What are you calling the premise of the movie?
Premise of Temple of Doom.
Go
is-
find the thing.
No, they wind up stranded somewhere.
Yeah?
And then find themselves, extricated in this thing, and his sense of honor compels him to use his normally fairly morally ambiguous skills to rescue this village. Like, there's a very simple plot to that.
Yeah.
There's not a very simple plot to Crystal Skull.
No, it's definitely not simple. Like, Crystal Skull is definitely the AI of Indiana Jones movies.
Like, if anything,
but
people crap on Temple of Doom because it leaves out two elements that are great about the other two movies, which are you never know where the story's going to lead.
Mm-hmm.
That has that James Bond-esque kind of way about it, where it's like, oh, he's teaming with a newsie to stop a thing, and then he ends up in Cairo, and then he ends up in Berlin, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's that like jet-setting element, and it's a mystery. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's not really too much of a mystery when it's like the village is like, oh yeah, an evil magic is ruining our village, and they stole all the kids. And
they're up there.
Yeah, and then he rolls up, and they're like, Dr. Jones. Yeah, nothing's wrong here. Like, we're all just hanging around. Sorry, I don't know what you heard. And he's like, no, you're evil, and you're definitely going to be bad. And so that unfolds fairly expectedly. But it does have the other elements, which are fun, which is high swashbuckling kind of adventure and fun, like the supernatural elements are there. Everything in Crystal Skull is just this like super mangled, weird, like I don't even like. So they're gonna go after aliens, but they shouldn't go after aliens. But
They
now
don't
the
realize
Russians
it's
are after
aliens until
aliens.
right at the end, right?
Well, you know it's what? No, because the Russians have the crystal skull.
Yeah.
Right?
But they don't realize that the skull is an alien skull until the end.
But it looks like a skull, the alien skull, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks like an oddly shaped skull.
That's like a traditional 1950s gray head alien.
No, at no point is it intimated that they're aliens until the end. That's like my biggest complaint about it is that, like, there's no lead up to that. It's just like, boom, space aliens.
Well, at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, when the thing takes off. Or
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like a tilt-a-whirl.
Right.
Or like a galaxy.
Gyrotron?
The Pukatron.
So anyway, we got way off topic again. What was the Ghostbusters thing?
I
What do
feel
you
like-
feel like is the reason why people are against it if they genuinely aren't against it because of weird misogynistic tendencies?
So I feel like part of it is, for whatever reason, people are using this as like the final line in the sand on remakes, as if for some reason
Yeah.
like that's a novel thing
yeah.
where it's like, no, you could have done everything, but not this. When it's like, I mean, Ramis is dead.
Yeah.
Do you really want? I mean, like
Ghostbusters 3 with
The
dead
only
Ramis?
one-
Oh, that's actually really good. Why didn't we
Ghostbusters
do
3 with what?
With dead Ramis. Like if like Egon was a ghost.
But isn't that like the franchise was never really that depressing?
No.
So like that, but that's a really depressing concept.
No, it doesn't have to be. Like, just because he's a ghost doesn't mean that he has to be like a super depressed ghost. Like, he could be on the other side of the veil discovering some crazy weird science shit. And then
But
he
what?
comes
So-
back to his live
But now we
buddies
have
to help out.
we have the CGI dead Ramis.
We did it with Tupac. We can do it with young Egon.
No, you did. There was he was on stage singing Hail Mary. They didn't CGI Tupac in Straight Outta Compton.
But you can CGI, like, it's going to be ghostly anyway. You're not trying to make a perfect representation. We got young Michael Douglas in
wait,
Ant-Man. We
so
can
you-
get
for
young
5
Egon.
minutes, and you had young Robert Downey Jr.
You don't have to put a lot of
Civil
Egon
War.
in there. Like, he comes through the mist and he's like, oh, there's this science thing happening in the other side.
But wait, so are you saying that people would prefer that? Or
I'm saying No, I'm not saying I would prefer that. I haven't seen this other movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's a cool concept. We need a dead Egon Ghostbusters 3.
But also, of the three, sorry, Ernie, that like really are making the call on whether or not a new Ghostbusters was going to happen in the
Yeah.
intervening 2 decades,
Right?
like 2 out of the 3 didn't really seem that keen on doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
True. But they all showed up when the time came for this one.
Yeah. But I guess to me, that says, yeah, this is, I guess the thing is like, this seems like such a natural, like, in a world where we have to get remakes,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't it just kind of seem like the best possible way to get a remake?
I am not of the ilk that's like remakes suck. I feel like every once in a while you get a good one, and when you get bad ones, who cares? It doesn't ruin your life. It doesn't ruin your childhood. No one took away Raiders of the Lost Ark from you. Just go ahead and watch the old one again,
Yeah.
and forget you saw this horse shit.
TV Zegon says here in the chat room that one of the original plots for Ghostbusters 3 was that all the Ghostbusters die and go to hell. Liked it better when it was called Bill and Ted's 2.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey might be one of my favorite movies.
It is one of my dad's favorite movies of all time.
Them, like, just the idea, the death character
Death is
is
everything about that movie.
So good. Frustrating death because they keep beating him in board games is just, like, I feel like we're
So
just
good.
going to need to watch Bogus Journey right
I'm
after
I'm
this
up
is
for
done.
it. It's like 4 out of 7, 5 out of 9.
Yeah, best 4 out of 7. Damn right.
And what's the thing where he's talking about he does a lot of reaping? Like he's proud of his butt because of all the reaping he
Yeah.
does? I don't remember the line.
Station is great.
Station is great, but the movie's about death as far as I'm concerned. Like they just Melvin death and run out of hell. And then somehow he ends up as their bassist at the end.
You know, that's like, I kind of feel like, do you think that Bill and Ted's is underrated?
I feel like it's properly rated. I think people have respect for Bill and Ted's. I mean, like,
Should they have
nostalgic
more
respect.
respect?
No. Who doesn't like Bill and Ted?
Should Bill and Ted... Well, here, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted, Back to the Future. Back to the Future, I feel like, is more universally understood to be a classic, a movie classic, right?
I feel like that's true. I think Back to the Future is better than Bill and Ted's. I think they're both great. I think they're both like amongst the top 5 time travel movies.
We are
of all
comparing
time.
apples to oranges here, right? And they are of slightly different times.
Yeah.
Both do a very good job of capturing their time and place, though.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, though. I feel like the difference between those two movies is that we wound up liking Michael J. Fox more than we liked Keanu Reeves or Alex Winters.
There might be some truth to that, but I also feel like, in general, people are going to prefer a simple, followable storyline in a movie over something wacky. And like Back to the Future is like as simple of a time travel story as you could possibly get. You're not going to travel through time and get a less convoluted story than you would get from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And then Bill and Ted's makes its bones on wacky adventure, not on simple story.
But I guess like that's almost a harder peak to climb, though.
Oh, it is for
right?
sure, which
like
is why it earned as
sci-fi
much as it did.
Fantasy comedy?
Yeah.
Is there a better sci-fi fantasy comedy? Because Back to the Future is just sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's just, here's our tech. We use our tech. We do this thing. We establish the rules. The rules factor into how we get back and solve the problem. That's science fiction. Bill and Ted's is like, yeah, okay, they're in a phone booth, but like literally it can go anywhere, and they're picking people up almost at random. Like there's no, like the rules are set, but it's more about the fun and like as they almost play with in the climaxes for both films.
Yeah.
It's like they're literally rewriting the rules of their genre at the end so they can survive the villain.
They're like,
right?
when we get out of this, we need to remember to do this so that we get out of this. Yeah.
I feel like Bill and Ted's is underappreciated.
You think that it's better than Back to the Future?
I don't know if it's better than Back to the Future. Because again, it's like Back to the Future is hard to do anything but Back to the Future but bow to it because it
just does so much right.
It might be a perfect movie.
Yeah.
But you're right that it's perfect because it sets a ambitious plan and executes on it. Whereas like Bill and Ted sets like you don't like it's like here's the difference. Back to the Future is like a perfect Olympic gymnastics routine.
Yeah.
Right? All tens. It's just like great. Bill and Ted's is like if they started crumping like in the middle of a floor routine, right? And you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But it works.
But also you're really good at
But
crumping.
but it's like, but then and then they do a back handspring and then use the little twirly sticks and everything. And it's like, oh my God, this has redefined what I would think of floor dancing as, right? Like, or a floor routine.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I still don't feel like it's been underappreciated in any way. Like, it got a lot of love. It ended up with TV shows and a sequel, and they're, like, talking about making another. Like, no one says... This is not a controversial statement to say Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is awesome.
Okay, here. Final thing. Final question. Because now they're talking.
Yeah.
It's for real that, like, Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves are going to make a new Bill and Ted. If a third Bill and Ted comes out and is
starring
great,
2 women
and is great, right? Not good.
Yeah.
Great.
Uh-huh.
Is it a better trilogy than Back to the Future?
It's still apples to oranges. No, I don't think it is. Like, even if it's great, I don't think it is.
I mean, it might be close.
Like, they would be equally...
To do 3 completely, let's say it is in the vein where it's off kilter and like you never know where it's going to go.
It would be 2 equally great to watch trilogies, but I don't think I think they're starting at a disadvantage. Like you're comparing a near perfect movie to a very good, very funny sci-fi comedy, the likes of which you don't see.
Yeah.
And then you're comparing to a great follow-up to a near perfect movie, to a very funny follow-up to a weird off-kilter thing with death in it, and death makes the movie. And like you're just at such a disadvantage coming into 3. Even if 3 wasn't the best of the Back to the Future movies, you have to give me something better than Back to the Future 1 with the third Bill and Ted. How do you finish that strong?
You go ahead and everybody email me what you guys think. We'll have all of your emails and stuff in our next episode. But JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Give us all. Man, stuff is on fire now. Everybody's trying to order Back to the Future. What is your Back to the Future order? Best your favorite Back to the Future movies in order.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. It's not that hard. They did it for you.
One's the best.
Yeah.
Two's the middle. Three's.
Yeah. They ordered it for you. You don't even have to try.
I don't know. There's a part of it that I just love with 2 because it gets a little bit more ambitious with the time travel stuff.
Yeah. It gets ambitious, but at the detriment to the simple, perfect story that 1 is.
Sure. I guess I always like the ones that like take the few extra weird risks.
I admire those, but like, it's just not how you make a perfect, easily digestible movie. It's how you make an ambitious, interesting movie.
Yeah. Whatever, butthead. All right, where can people find you?
You can find me at Amtrekker on Twitter, but really all you should be doing anyway is downloading Mission Pick on the iPhone.
Absolutely. Play your Mission Pick. You guys got a bunch of stuff coming up for that, so go ahead and stay tuned. But yeah, still growing, still rocking. Every time I check in there, man, it never fails. Seriously, if you are listening to this right now and you have not downloaded Mission Pick on the iPhone, just go do it and just look at the top 10s. Like, the top 10s are just, like, insane.
Yeah.
So
all you have
good.
to do is look at the leaderboards every day and just be happy that art exists.
Yeah. So go ahead and check it out. Mission Pick on the App Store on iOS. And just don't, if you're going to start with the Android, just don't. Listen, they got to succeed. You're not going to help. You're getting yourself closer to an Android version if you just promote the iOS version.
That's true.
I know it's going to feel weird,
Yeah.
right? But just tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad. Like, if all you want to do is say, but what about Android? Listen, here's how this works.
Yeah.
iOS does well. They get more funding. They make an Android version.
Android doesn't happen without iOS.
Bada bing, bang, boom.
Sorry.
It is JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Put JuRY in the subject line if you want to email the show. Of course, you can buy The Contender at thecontender.us. Go ahead and check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/thecontendergame. If you want to see our Palin versus McCain little video or a little puppet video. Also, if you're going to be at Politicon in Pasadena, California next weekend, that is the final weekend of June, you will see us there. We're going to be there. You're going to be able to debate the sock puppet of your choice with contender cards. It's going to be an absolute blast. We're recording everything. It's going to be a fun time. Also, stickers or DIAF. New stickers coming, so you better, if you like the stickers that are in the set now is the time to buy one before the new set rolls in and the old set goes away. Any final parting thoughts here, Brett?
Nerp.
Well, folks, if you find yourself going to a Tom Hanks film festival or a Michael Keaton film festival or a Jonathan Tobolowsky film festival, I want you to remember that this is your pals Justin Robert Young and Brett the Amtrekker Rounsaville, letting you know that you should please don't die.
Why is there more here left to see? I don't understand, is it me? Am I that difficult to read? I'll love myself.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.